We are going to look at the very first death from Molo clashes in 1992. The very first person to die or be killed because of the tribal clashes in Molo in 1992. When the political temperature was rising during the 1992, the authorities, including President Daniel Arap Moi, had come up with a way in which they were telling people, those who migrated to other places. Actually, most of the people who were not indigenous in areas that they were staying, most of them were believed to be people who will not vote for KANU and Moi. So a number of threats, including some coming from President Moi himself, telling people who moved, who migrated into new areas, or those who are doing businesses in areas that are not ancestrally connected to their home area. They were being told that don't vote according to the voting patterns of wherever you came from, but vote according to the voting patterns of the places you settled in or the places you are doing business in. But after due researches, investigation and so on, it was discovered that you can tell somebody that, and he can even assure you, but when he goes to vote, whatever he'll place in the ballot box will not be the way you want. So a plan was hatched. I was dealing with tribal clashes all over Rift Valley, so there is about a dozen places, but in this episode I am going to concentrate on Molo alone. There are so many, about a dozen. So I was the desk officer in Rift Valley Provincial Special Branch Office, desk officer dealing with two subjects: criminal activity and intertribal tension. I remember one day, Chief Inspector Ademba calling me to his office, telling me that he had something on his file which was also affecting my jurisdiction. So I went to his office, he showed me his file, I read it, and whatever I read in the file, I told him I have not received. Chief Inspector Ademba was handling the desk. He was handling several topics, one of which was politics in Nakuru district. So he had received an intelligence report from Nakuru, that is from Molo, of which there was circulating pamphlets or leaflets or whatever, of which members of the Kikuyu tribe were being asked to leave Molo on or before a certain Thursday. The day was indicated. Since that was tribal clashes, since that was criminal activity, threatening people is criminal activity, And since that affected my jurisdiction, and also it's political in Nakuru, he wanted to hear from me if I've come across such intelligence. I said I didn't. I had not come across that intelligence, and I told him as much. He then wrote a report to Nyati, copying to my superiors in Nyati, copying to the desk officer in charge of criminal activities Kenya-wide, and also copying to the desk officer in charge of intertribal tension countrywide. It so happened that on the very day, on the very Thursday, that pamphlets had spread. Of course, we informed the various affected departments along the province because threatening is a crime. So police, CID, and even provincial administration were told to even have barazas and address the issue. But we didn't take it seriously. You know, a criminal will never tell you he's coming to do something on such and such a day. And we were being, the pamphlets were saying, any Kikuyu who stays beyond Thursday of that day, he or she is doing it on his own or her own shauri. And then on that very, very day, on that very, very Thursday, they had said, the first Kikuyu was killed in Molo. Keep watching. The second tape of Molo killings, I will talk about how it ended. And God willing, I will also talk about in between various issues concerning Molo clashes for people to know. Whatever I'm saying about Molo clashes or any other thing of that type, I'm not doing it for the first time. I had said and reported and recorded in the task force for the TGRC, chaired by Professor Makau Mutua. I repeated the same to the actual TGRC headed by Ambassador Kiplagat. But this time, with my YouTube channel, I will now express it to all Kenyans at all times. Thank you.